Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Hanna, Season 1, Episode 4. It is called Father. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. It's worth mentioning as well that this is the first one we've recorded since it's been renewed for Season 2, so we know Season 2 is coming. And it has been a bit of a gap, apologies for that. We had other shows to do, this kind of got pushed and pushed, but we can kind of focus on it a little bit more now. So we're here with Episode 4. We ended the last one with Eric getting one up on Marissa and having her kind of trapped. We didn't know if it was going to kill her, was going to be something else. I expected she was going to survive just because she's our main villain. I expect her to be around for a bit more.
Yeah.
So this episode, he's got her captive and he's using her to set up a potential escape out of the country. Try to get a plane, kind of using her. It spends a lot of time with her kind of like tied up in this abandoned building and him kind of talking to her and that kind of stuff. The real interesting things, I think, though, come from Hanna and her kind of own self-discovery.
I'm shocked.
Because she's stuck with Dieter and his family. And she, at first it's almost like frustrating in a sort of really relatable way where she's frustrated she's cooped up with this family. And I think we as the audience are also kind of frustrated she's cooped up with this family. But sure enough, she sneaks out the house and she's very resourceful. She does a little trick with the setting off the car alarm after he's already unlocked his car so that she can sneak in the back. And later on, she does the thing where she pulls the kid's homework out, so he has to run after his kids. So she's got a few minutes alone in the house to search for items and things. But yeah, so this was by far my favorite part of the episode. Was Hanna kind of on her own, kind of sneaking around, try to discover information, find out where her father was, hearing some things she's not supposed to about him lying to her because she hears him talking to Marissa.
I agree with you. This absolutely continues on my feeling from last episode, in which when we're following things away from Hanna, I am significantly less interested.
I mean, I don't feel as strongly as you, I don't think. Although I will say, I think the new guy who showed up this episode, the one that's from Utrax, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Or at least he's not from Utrax. Utrax I don't think exists anymore, but he's, the people
he's
behind
aware
Utrax.
Of it, and he's got a bit of connections going on. He's pulling some strings. I wouldn't be surprised if this is establishing that Marissa maybe isn't the real villain, that we think maybe there's something above her.
I think she's still the real villain in the sense that I still think she's the primary antagonist. I think this is setting up someone more powerful than her that she's scared of, but I don't necessarily think it's going to mean that they're the... I mean, unless they do a thing where that's the Season 2 villain, like where they...
Yeah, I can see that.
They spend some time building this new villain up, but she's still the main kind of emotional antagonist for Season 1. I could see them doing something like that. But, Eric, threatens her boyfriend and sort of stepson, or whatever you want to call him, and is very suggestive about what he's going to do. He actually kills Jacobs, which I was actually kind of surprised by. I think they did a good job in making us think he was a character who was sticking around.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because he's been around long enough now, and he's been kind of a consistent presence on the show for all the episodes so far that it felt like, they just killed him. All right, fair play.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right. It was a little bit surprising.
Yeah, so fair play to that. But yeah, so I guess my only other critique of the episode, outside of the non-Hanna stuff being a little bit drier, I guess we'll say.
It's not that it's bad. It's just not as engaging to watch.
It's because she's the heart of the show. It's because she's the one we care about. Everyone else is kind of shady, and this episode does a pretty good job of showing that Eric is actually quite
duplicitous.
Sure, I was going to say he's pretty cruel. His hands are not clean, and as much as he maybe has some good motivations with Hanna herself and why he did what he did in the past, he's still just killing people left and right. He's still lying to her. And at the end of the episode, I think maybe one of the things that I would like to compliment more than anything is they get to the plane and Hanna says, "No, I'm not getting on that plane unless you tell me the truth." The things he tells her, we know that some of it is actually true. We know he's actually telling the truth about not killing our mother and so on.
Yeah.
Go away, cat. But the thing is you can't really blame her. You're not frustrated at her not believing him because he's told so many lies that you can't blame her at all for not believing this.
No, absolutely not. It's given the scenario she's in, it's like, well, if you doubt these things, you kind of have to doubt all of them.
Yeah. So even though we know that the key things that matter he's saying are actually true, I can't blame her. Like I'm kind of on her side. Like of course, and
Mm.
she phones Sophie at one point in the episode and can't say anything, and Sophie kind of sussies that it's her, but Hannah hangs up and doesn't say anything. She's on her way to her at the end of the episode because the other complaint I'd have is it's kind of convenient that Dieter just happens to be involved in helping people sneak into the UK because because Hannah can use that at the end of the episode.
Yeah, yeah, that is convenient.
But
Lot of well placed friends.
yeah, but just a bit on the convenient side, because it got to the end of the episode, and these other people are sneaking out of this truck, this food truck that are going to the UK, and it's like, oh, Hannah's in there, okay, and we know where she's going. She's going to see Sophie
Obviously.
and her family. That's where we're going. The other thing I'd compliment though is I think the show's done a pretty good job pacing wise in the sense that I feel like there's been a lot of plot advancement in every episode. I never feel like it's remotely spinning its wheels.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we've moved a huge amount in 4 episodes.
I think at the end of every episode, I feel like we've changed the status quo.
With the exception of maybe the end of last episode into this one, these two felt a lot. I'd say it's split into 3 kind of stories so far: 1, 2, and then 3 and 4.
Yeah. But the end of this one definitely feels like we've entered a new phase because
Definitely, yeah.
because Eric's now injured. He's on the run with his buddies. He's not with Hannah. Hannah's on her own, going to Sophie and that. So it's definitely, and obviously now Marissa's got this overseeing boss. Because I actually thought he might just kill her. See when he because he killed the other guy that was going to kill her, and he kneeled down. I thought, is he just going to kill her now as well? Like she thinks she's saved, but no.
Yeah, just cleaning up the evidence.
It'd be very easy for him to just use the other guy's gun to shoot her and say, "Oh, he did that first." And then
it would, but he's got plans for her.
Apparently so, because that was like the one side of the episode that I really felt like I was just kind of going through the motions was when he showed up at the office and the actual guy who's working at the CIA is kind of like, why are you here? And he doesn't seem to be in any of Marissa's evil plans or anything like that. But he's been questioned by this guy, and then we have this whole thing where he knows that she's in trouble because she said she had coffee.
Yeah, which in other things I might critique that as feeling a bit random, but I mean, they are spies.
My problem's not even that it's random. My problem, I wish they made it memorable enough that she had made a point of giving up coffee, so that when she actually did that, it hit a chord with me where I went, "Oh, that's a sign." She's like telling him a clue.
No, that's fair. I'm wondering if there was something in the last couple of episodes, and we just don't remember it.
No, there was. I remember I mentioned it. My critique is not that it's not been brought up. My critique is that it wasn't made enough of a character trait. It was kind of like mentioned once.
Okay, I'm with you. It needs to be done a couple of times to get it into you.
Rules of threes. You do it twice so that this is the third time, and the third time it clicks with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm pretty sure it was only mentioned once, and it wasn't that much of a memorable thing. Like I feel like other shows and movies that have done this kind of thing where the character knows the other one's under duress because they say something they would never say. The thing is usually a bit more. We
understand it as well.
But it's a bit more harsher than how they set it up. Like it's like just outright they're allergic to the thing, so they know this is just complete bullshit. Whereas this is like she could have started drinking coffee again.
I like that it's more believable in the sense that she just ordered a coffee. That doesn't seem unusual. Unless you stop and think about it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, in other things, they'll make it something that's much more like overt. Yeah, whereas this is like, because even when he said, "Oh, she ordered a coffee," that was strange. That must be a hint. I'm like,
the other guy's like, really? That's strange.
But he even says that she only stopped drinking coffee a year ago. Like she can relapse after a year. That's not that weird.
No, I'm with you, but I think. I understand what you're saying, but I like this a lot more. I prefer it to be the more subtle thing. When they're it's spies and stuff. Like be subtle. Don't be overt about it.
Well, no, I don't want overt. I do want subtle, but I want subtle that it clicks with me immediately. This did not click with me at all. Even when he said she ordered coffee, that's weird. And he's like, "Oh, she gave up coffee a year ago." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but that's not like it's not like she can't have coffee."
See, I agree with the first part of your complaint in that it didn't land for us when she orders the coffee, right? And he says, "Oh, there's coffee." That bit felt like okay, so because I'd forgotten about the whole thing before about her giving it up. Because I think they didn't do a good enough job of making that a thing. Whereas the bit where where he's like, "Oh no, that's weird," she gave up coffee a year ago. That's enough for me. That part of it is.
I think it is for me. I used to be a bit more, just a bit more concrete. That like she could easily start drinking coffee again.
She could have done, but typically people who give something up and then and it's gone for a year, if they're doing it again, it's kind of it is a relatively big deal in itself, and people tend to notice.
Yeah, I don't know. The revelation just like I think it's supposed to be this cool. Oh, she's sending a sign because of this, and it felt like just I could feel it just being written into the script. I could just feel it. I could feel it in the writing as opposed to just feeling like it was a cool moment.
Yeah. I don't think it came off as a cool moment. I agree with that.
And then and then when he says it,
I did like the bit later where he's like, "Oh, there'll be coffee waiting for you on the plane." I thought that the okay, we understood your message.
Oh, sure, yeah, that was fine. But like, it's just the moment where he actually says it, instead of feeling like, oh, that's a cool thing I didn't get or I didn't notice, I just went, well, that's it. That's your smoking gun during this scene. I don't know. It's just maybe this goes down to me like actively not being interested in spy stuff in and of itself.
Yeah, I think it might. I think though you're kind of supposed to feel a little bit like, oh, is that it? Because the guy you're saying it to, he goes, he's like, are you sure there was nothing weird that she said or did? And he goes, oh, there was something weird. She ordered a coffee, and he's there going, so she ordered a coffee. So what?
Joe, I'll be honest here. I actually think this moment would play even better if we'd never heard this before.
Yeah, okay.
Because that'd be something that only he actually knows. And this would be us finding out about it. I actually think the moment would have played better for me if it was something that was never actually brought up before. But because it was seeded, but just done in a really dull, forgettable way, and then brought up as if it was important later, it bugs me more because you didn't do a proper enough job setting it up.
I can agree with that.
At least if it was just pulled out your ass now, it'd be like, well, this is just something he knows about her because they're close, and it's not like we've been that personal with them. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's a small enough thing that I wouldn't have thought about it. I don't know. We spent a lot more time talking about this scene than I thought
we did. We haven't spoken this much about coffee since we finished Twin Peaks. Because we don't drink coffee.
Yeah, no, it's just the thing. If I said to you I'd ordered a coffee, you'd know something was up.
I would. If you said to me you'd ordered any hot drink, I'd be like, why? That would be weird.
I can drink tea. I have tea on the.
You can, but you don't.
It's like an annual thing.
And I'm pretty sure every time it's happened, I've questioned you. It's like, really?
Usually when it's cold as well. It's never during the summer.
Yeah.
I'm always cold when I'm having a hot drink. It's purely for the heat. The taste is neither here nor there.
Do you know it actually cools you down better than a cold drink? In the heat, drinking like a hot drink of like tea or coffee cools you down better than like an ice cold, Coke or whatever.
Doesn't feel that way when I'm drinking it.
It doesn't, but internally it cools you down quicker.
Yeah, but it's torturous to drink because it's hot things going in my mouth.
Yeah. Just saying, it's good for you.
Well, we had a tech fault there, and I can't remember what we were saying beforehand. So, I'll just overall thoughts on the episode.
I think we were still talking about hot drinks, to be honest with you. So nothing of
yeah, that's wrapped up.
We
can leave that behind now. That's fine. Dieter's wife was not too happy Hanna was staying at the house.
No, but she went along with it anyway.
That she seemed to like Hanna by the time she was leaving. She seemed to understand that she wasn't her father. Yeah. So
yeah,
but there was a lot of stuff on the news about Eric killing policemen and stuff. It's like, oh well, okay.
Yeah, not a great look.
Yeah, not too happy about it. And she bonds a little bit with the kids, and it's kind of this thing where Hanna seems to keep making friends everywhere she goes. It's like people seem to like her, and the idea being like on a sort of cheesy level, she has a good soul, she has a good spirit, right? People connect to her, but she's surrounded by all these dark people, all these dark characters who are up to shady shit,
dragging her down.
Yeah, so I'm excited for her breaking loose. I'm excited because my favorite episode so far probably was episode 2, so I'm excited for her to be back with her family, or not her family, but the family.
Yeah.
And
No, I agree. That was probably my favorite episode as well.
so I'm excited for that growth, and I'm sure Sophie's parents are going to be scared shitless that Hannah's around again. If they even know, I can see Hannah maybe sneaking in and out a little bit, and doing
Yeah,
whatever.
that wouldn't be surprising.
But no, yeah. I mean, the strong elements of the show are still the strong elements of the show, and the stuff that's just kind of okay is still just kind of okay. But
Yeah, it's just. I suspect that might not change over the season, of which elements are which. It will simply be a case of the balance between them.
luckily, it's called Hannah, so I expect at least half of every episode to be Hannah.
I would hope so, yes.
Yes. It is dealing with other things, so we do get cutaways to other characters, and that's fine. But she is the heart and soul of the show, and whenever it does focus on her, it works. So I look forward to where we go with that. But yeah, this episode, I mean, it might have been the weakest episode overall.
I think I preferred it over the last one still, because I felt like there was more Hanna in this one.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe. I think this one and the last one have both been fairly solid, but definitely the two weakest of the batch, because I really like the first two. So I'm looking forward to seeing Hannah's story next episode. So, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I agree. I'm looking forward to, another change of location. This show's been fantastic. Jumping around locations.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how Hanna reacts in each new environment, because they are, different in their own ways.
One of the small things I actually really liked was when she's hiding in the back of the car, she's looking out the window, and it's doing the kind of thing where she's kind of mesmerized by the city again. But it's actually really neat, because when she was walking back from the hideout back to the house, it did a really good job of, like, I kept recognizing the street signs and the landmarks that she was noticing and on the way there, and it really clearly conveyed that she was actually mapping how to get back to the house, which was, and don't get me wrong,
it wasn't
still
just this wonder.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still, like, I don't think I could just look out the window in one car ride and know exactly how to walk back, when I've never been in that city before. But we've also been told before that she has great tracking abilities. She's very good at
you're not as good as she is.
Yes, I concur to that. But as she was walking back, I was noticing the subway sign. I was noticing the big market stall sign. Like, I was noticing all these things that were sticking out to me in the way there, and I was like, that's really neat, because it's telling me very easily how she's finding her way home without it over explaining it, without it beating you over the head with it. And so I appreciate that.
It was well done, that.
So nice little subtle thing in the filmmaking. So that is Hanna episode 4. So we'll be back sooner than we were before, much quicker with episode 5 hopefully, and you can see our thoughts on that. So let us know what you thought of episode 4 in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. You can get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv, where you can support us for as little as $1 per month. You get some bonuses and exclusives, you get some stuff early, but if you go over there and have a look, see all the things that are on offer. If you listen to us in the audio feed, the Almost Cancelled TV Reviews audio feed, there's also a Netflix Reviews audio feed with a lot of other TV show reviews, plus there's movie feeds and all that kind of thing. Again, you can find a list of all these things over on the Patreon. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?